Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot of news to cover, so let's get right to it. One of our long-term community members, ladies and gentlemen, is in trouble. She reached out to me in hopes that I would share her story with you all, and if you feel so inclined to help, towards the end of this video, I will share her story with you. But let's go ahead and talk about a ring of fire, a heat dome that will stall over 76 million Americans in the eastern part of the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe in global warming, but the thing is that I believe in global cooling as well, because climate change is always occurring. This week, a massive ridge of high pressure stalled over the eastern half of the U.S., roasting tens of millions of Americans with scorching high temperatures, all the way from Chicago to Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time of the year. What do we talk about during the winter months? Make sure you have a generator. Make sure you have a source of heat to back up your main source of heat. Make sure you have this, and that. That's going to keep you warm. Now it's the opposite. It's a time of year where you have to make sure that you have the backups in order to keep you cool if you live in areas that get overly hot during these months of the year. And here they explain that the duration of this heat wave is notable and potentially the longest experienced in decades for some locations. According to Fox News Weather, NWS data shows severe heat alerts over an estimated 72 million people through Saturday. At the very least, I would say that if you have a small generator, which is one of the things that I say you should have first and foremost as part of your preps, is water filtration and some way to get electricity if the grid goes down. But if you have a small generator that can at least power a small window air conditioner, you can have what I would call a cold room in your house, where you seal off a room, you go ahead and cool it down with that small air conditioner that can be powered using your small generator. That's in case that the grid goes down. You'll still be able to keep cool, and who knows, maybe even help people who didn't have the forethought of doing such. And one of the things that I like to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen, when these types of circumstances are published or are talked about in the mainstream media, is that what you're looking at right here, the ring of fire pattern, this is normally what is advertised in the mainstream media, right? They're showing you, hey, this area is going to be super hot and it must be global warming. Don't allow their propaganda to shift you to one side or the other. Use your heads and understand that cooling occurs and heating occurs at different times of the year, sometimes at the same times. Like here, where you see that the eastern part of the U.S. is going to be on fire. But they don't tell you about the other half of the U.S. that has temperatures as far as 24 degrees below normal, ladies and gentlemen. So don't let them fool you with this. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that you need to protect yourself and be prepared in case you fall in the category of living in a state that's going to be under that heat dome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you were on my last live stream or not, where I told everyone that I'm on probation until I think the 10th of September or something like that of this year. So I have to be very careful. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you take a look at this article right here. I will be leaving the link to all of these articles that I go over, or stories that I go over, on a pinned comment, so you can take a look at that as well. Now, before I forget, today is the 19th. Today is the very last day that OUPES is going to be having their sale, their Father's Day sale on bundles and certain items in their store. And they're giving up to 15% off the discounted prices if you use all of the coupons available. All right, I will leave the link to their site on a pinned comment as well, with the 5% off coupon that you can add on to the 10% that they're giving you off their sale prices as well. And ladies and gentlemen, if you go to thealaskaprepper.com, my website, and you join the email list, at the end of this month or early next month in July, I will go ahead and be picking randomly one of those of you that is on my email list to give away an OUPES Exodus 600 to absolutely free. All you have to do is be on the email list. Now let's go ahead and get back to this. How and why this is about to enter the mass testing phase. What I want you to do is take a look at this article. I'm not going to talk about it, right? I can't. But take a look at this article, ladies and gentlemen, and ask yourselves, are they getting ready to bring out the next boogeyman? Remember, towards the end of this year, there's going to be a very big contest that occurs that will affect our entire nation, and I would say the world. So ask yourself, is this going to be the same tactic that they used last time, just a different flavor? And this is one of the reasons why I believe that the dollar will eventually die. Not only because it's a fiat currency, and no fiat currency has ever survived and passed the test of time, ladies and gentlemen. In history, no fiat currency has ever survived. It's always gone to zero. But because of these actions, where the leaders of just a few countries can dictate how they will steal and how they will spend the funds of another country. It doesn't matter whether you agree with that country or not, ladies and gentlemen. There's 195, I think, or maybe more countries in the world. How are we all going to agree with each other's ideologies and each other's thoughts and everything? We're not. So what right does any country have to steal from another and then spend their money how they wish? I believe they have no right. It doesn't matter what country it is. This is just them sanctioning money away from a nation that they don't agree with and then using that money to do whatever they want with it. In my opinion, this is going to be one of the reasons why, if not the reason why, the dollar finally goes down. Not necessarily because it's being overprinted, as it has been for years and years and years, but because other countries outside of our borders no longer trust that they can hold dollars and be able to keep their sovereignty, I guess you can say. For those of you that don't know, here a while back, the U.S. spent about $250 million to build this pier in order to help the people of Gaza. And now it's just floating off into the sea, and they've just given up on it. It's only $250 million of your taxpayer money, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. The pier required hundreds of millions of dollars and the work of some 1,000 service members to plan, assemble, and operate. Now, the surrender on the pier idea comes after it was operational for just 10 days. So for about $250 million, we got 10 days of use from this. And what does this go to? It just goes to the competence of what our government has turned into. A few years back, in my opinion, this kind of stuff wouldn't have been happening. But this is what we have to deal with now. When our government starts to make laws in order to protect other nations, and of course itself, instead of it protecting the people of the United States of America, who they're supposed to be protecting instead, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. Get prepared, stay prepared, because you're going to need your preps. So now it seems that the executive branch has taken on the responsibilities of the Congress and the Senate. And not only is the executive branch now supposed to enforce laws, but now it's also writing laws, ladies and gentlemen. And in this case, it turns out that I do believe that it was overturned, temporarily blocked by a federal judge in Kentucky. And I'll go ahead and let you read what this says right here, because the funny thing is that it's just common sense. What happened, right? What happened to get us to where we are, to where we can't even say what is what? I think it was George Orwell, the guy that wrote 1984, that said that one day they will be telling you that right is wrong and wrong is right, and that up is down and down is up, and 2 + 2 = 5, something like that. And doesn't it seem that that's where we're living today? So continue to prepare, stay prepared, because you're going to need your preps. As long as we have a system above us, ladies and gentlemen, that cares not for the common folk, we need to stay prepared, because that system is not going to last. And when it falls, in my opinion, it's going to fall in a hurry. It's like, I forgot who asked this. I have all of these words in my head, but I forget who says them. But someone was asked, how did you go bankrupt? And the gentleman replied by saying, well, the first 90%, it was very slow, but the last 10% was very fast. Meaning that we are towards the end of this empire. In my opinion, we are towards the end of this era in time, and we are about to change in a quick hurry. So when it happens, it's going to happen fast. So make sure that you're prepared at all times. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Lori Morris has been part of the AP community for a while now, and she communicated back with me a couple of times just asking if I can share her story with everyone. That way, if you would like to help, that you can. I'm going to leave this up here. You can go ahead and freeze the screen if you like, and you can read it. Her information is down below. Okay, obviously she's in very hard times, and it's kind of difficult for me to share these things because a lot of times they turn bad because there's a lot of very mean and ill-spirited people out on the internet. She didn't even mind me putting up her address, right? Because I asked her before this, can I share your personal information? And she said, yes, no problem, right? Because she needs the help. Anyways, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have a great day. I don't think I'll be having a live stream tomorrow on Friday, but I'll try to put out a short reaction video because I know that some people at least like watching those to break away from the monotony of news and such. And I do have a prepping on the cheap video that I'll probably be working on this weekend, and I'm very excited about it because, man, this is cheap. But I'm going to go ahead and keep you in suspense on that one, ladies and gentlemen. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm an Ask Prepper. I am out.